Going to yes,
Yes,
recording are in progress. And welcome, Reshma Eugene. Welcome.
thank you. Thank you, Eva.
So,
Thanks for having me.
yeah, well, it's a pleasure to have you here because you have this sparkling energy that and always brings so much joy into our conversations. And I always learn something new when we are talking. So,
Hmm,
so it's so good to have you here. And
thank you.
for those who doesn't know who Reshma is, you can Google her on the Summit Lighthouse 333, and she is on
Mhm,
Instagram. She's a
mhm.
Pleiadian star mother, among other things, healer, and she has had a marvelous, how should I say, path since we got together the last time.
Yeah.
So let's start there. What
Okay.
did happen? What happened to Reshma Yu? What happened?
Well, well, thank you so much for having me. You know, we have a connection. Ever since I first met you, I was like, oh, my heart was just connected to you.
Oh,
You always make me so happy. Like I love your energy, your nature, the way that you speak and bring things out in your writing. And so you just do so much for me as well. I just wanted you to know that.
thank you.
You bring so much joy and love. Yes. Um, okay, since we last met, I had just discovered my healing in the quantum realm, healing the inner child, and working with a few ladies and family members. Um, I it developed more and more. So I now offer with the inner child healing, which I have to, it's hard for people to understand. Like it's even hard for me to explain, but the healing is multidimensional
Mm-hmm.
and it crosses throughout all space and time, like your past life. It's almost like working in the Akash, you know? But I don't see it as the Akash. I see the person, you know? So so from the inner child, I started working with this new goddess Lakshmi, Mother Lakshmi. Um, if you don't know about like the deities in the Hindu religion, she is one of the most important ones to a lot of people, as she is the bringer of abundance and prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
And she actually came up, and honestly, I wasn't practicing any Hindu religion. I didn't really know her that well. And I was working with someone, and she showed up, and it was because that person worked with her. But it turns out that I actually, because of being mother, mother energy, I'm connected with all mother consciousnesses. So I work with all of them.
Wow.
So yeah, so she showed up, and later it was during Diwali, which Diwali is like a celebration for goddess Lakshmi. And I said, well, now that I'm connecting more with all these gods and goddesses in the Hindu religion, like they come into my healing, they help remove curses, especially Vishnu, to remove curses and things from people. um, I started working more, like learning about them. And so I practiced the Diwali celebration because I just fell in love with her. And she actually works with me now in removing abundance blocks from people. And it's different. She shows up and there's a basement now that I go down. So it's like going into the lower energies of people, like their dark side that they hide in their subconscious, you know, and parts of them that they don't want to remember, things that hold their abundance from them, you
Mm.
know, because abundance blocks can be something as silly as um, you had a lot of money in a past life and then you lost it because someone was jealous of you. So in this lifetime, you carry that energy that you don't want people to be jealous of you. So you don't want abundance, you know?
Yeah.
You want abundance, you want all the money, you want to have a house, you want a car, because you have to survive here, you need money.
Mm.
But you have this thing deep inside of you that's like, I don't want it, so it blocks the abundance. Yeah. So
Is it like shadow work that you are helping people of drawing up their own shadow works?
well, that's the thing, is that stuff they don't, I don't even talk to them about it. When I do my healing, it's I'm by myself, you know,
Yeah.
doing the meditation and doing all this work, and then I bring it to them. Some of them don't know those aspects of themselves, right?
Mm.
Some people do, who've done past life work. They know that they've had a lifetime here, a lifetime there, and they can say, oh my gosh, you know, or I had a dream, or, you know, things like that. So they can relate to it. But with people that haven't done any work at all, they won't be able to understand which past life it was,
Mm.
you know. So we go into the basement, and with her golden light and me and my energies, and we call in to remove, you know, what is not needed. Everything turns into like a gold dust and it goes out this window. um and then the room is like this bright shiny place, crystal clear. And that's when, you know, and like sometimes the ascended masters come in and they do their things. So it depends on the person, um you know, what happens in there.
Mm.
And so I received that healing ability. And then I started working, you know, I was being asked to connect with animals, to find lost animals if they passed, or, you know, are they okay, or um, an animal that was sick. So I started working with animals, and I don't get often the call for animal help, but when anyone around me is like, oh, my animal, you know, is not feeling well, and I'll just jump in because I need the practice, you know.
Mm.
But I've been working with animals, like connecting with the angels that work with the animals, and getting information, and just giving healing energy to the animal. um so I'm doing that. So that's another thing. And then I did this in the past, in the beginning, but I didn't know it was like a service until recently. um I now offer crossing over services.
Oh.
So yeah, so some, in the beginning there was a healing that I did, and a grandfather that had passed away was there
Mm-hmm.
in the healing, but there was a problem between the grandfather and the person I was healing. And there was a negative entity attached to the grandfather, keeping the grandfather in the realm, the lower realms, and not to cross over. So I had to talk with the grandfather, remove the negative entity, talk with him, get him and the client to have forgiveness and understanding, and create the love again for each other.
Mm.
And then he was able to cross over into the light. Um, I didn't think of that as a service. And it happened another time, but this time it was doing a healing for a client. Their grandparents had passed away, but they never crossed over due to lack of understanding and feeling as though nobody loved them and appreciated them. So they were like trapped, and they didn't feel like they could cross over. They didn't feel like they could go.
Mm.
So I helped them to do that, cross over.
Mm.
And so recently I had a client who had a parent that was in a coma, and I did a healing for the parent and got information, as to what's going on. And it was like the people that were here, that wanted the healing, they didn't want that person to pass because they wanted to spend more time with that person. They wanted to, you know, have that relationship that they didn't get to have, right?
That's so common. Yeah.
Yes, it's so common. But that person's, you know, feeling and want and need was that they had to, this they don't want to survive it.
Mm.
Okay. So because I knew this, I let them have, their conversations with this person, in the quantum, and understand what was going on, and they were able to let go of the person in this life, in a good way, not to be in pain and suffering over the loss,
Mm.
right? So it's like crossing over services for the people surviving as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm so glad you brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
I can see how everything is related to each other here. And
Mm.
when you were talking, in the word midwife popped into my head, and also
Mm.
the that you mentioned that you are connected to every mother energy that are taking place here, and it makes sense somehow because you have moved into another. You have grown so much into your own energy, and by working with those energies from the Hinduism and so on, they are a parallel and energetically similar to the Pleiadian energies. So there are inputs from there, and a lot of things actually are related to each other there, even though
Mm-hmm.
not everybody may see the connection, but they are. So that is not so surprisingly. And one of the many things that people are talking about now is how to help people navigate into this life, to growing and be awakening, and how to birth a new life into to our community, whether it's a newborn life or if it's the awakening. And what you're talking about now is the same phase, but since we are connected and bounded to the earthly realms here and now, there is not an entry that doesn't have an exit point. So you are actually connecting the dots from the beginning and to the end, and it's such a special ceremony to be with someone who is passing over. And I think there's a too much hush, like we shouldn't.
Yeah.
We don't talk about these things, but
Right.
is a very natural state of mind and a natural event taking place.
And yes.
And we do need guidance and healing. And people are born into this world without help from others, and people are exiting life without help from each other. But when we have this community that are there for each other with the birthing and with the
Mm.
death part, that is the heart to heart connection. So
Wow.
wow, that is
You wowed me.
yeah, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Explaining that because I have been receiving an initial healing from you the last time before the last time you were on this show, and
Mm-hmm.
and I also received a healing from you this time.
Yeah.
And I do know that there was a huge difference between the first healing, initial healing, and the one I received now, because I can't explain what. I can't put my finger on it, but now that you have been talking and my mind is started to wrap itself around the information, I can totally see why, because you have developed your skills into including so many other components there. So, wow.
Wow. Well, yeah, and it's really hard to explain because it's like I I'm not like going to training. Like I'm not sitting in a class and learning. I am just doing and things are happening and I have to trust all who are with me in the healing place and the things I'm being told to do in the healing place. I have to trust myself and everything I hear, and that has been a big thing for me, for anyone who is a light worker or a healer, to trust
Mm,
their voice, their inner voice,
yeah.
their intuition. Yeah, when you don't really have anyone in this dimension, this life in physical world to say yes, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Oh, and since we are, raised in different environments and see things in different way, we have also different interpretations of how things should be, or not even. We can mean the same thing, but we're using different words, and that can create chaos too into the mind.
Yeah.
So, but I want to go back and talk more about the healing process because
Yes.
you did ask for permission if you could do a healing on me, since
Hmm.
I joined the statistic of the pandemic. Yeah, so and that was very interesting because
Hmm.
you dived in, and then you get back with some information. And
Hmm.
would you like to talk about that a bit, because you actually dug um, got a lot of information. Uh,
Okay.
does it feel comfortable to talk about this?
um I'll talk about it. Okay, so one of the things that happened last year in my journey of knowledge of what I can do in my healing space, um some a client had received the double shot, right?
Mhm.
And was, I don't know if I'm supposed to speak in code or not, this
Good.
if it's going to be okay. So they had a concern that they should have it removed, and do I know how to do it? And I said, it's funny thing that you're asking me, because I was actually wondering, can I do this? What is it? What are the steps? How do I do it? So she said, please, work on it for me. And I went into the quantum and I sat at a round table with the ascended masters.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what do I do? Can I do this? And they gave me this light, this ball of light. And they said, you put this into the heart of the person and let it go through their whole blood system, and do your normal energetic body healing, right? So I did this, and I can't explain the color of the light. It's like your magenta color that you have on your heart to heart with Ava, that magenta color, but it's like this white infused. It's almost like a mixture of that purple and white. So I started removing that from several clients. Even clients that came to me for healing didn't tell me that they received the double, but my guides tell me do the, remove it. So some people don't even have to tell me that they received it. My guides are telling me to remove it because this thing is affecting, and it won't help the healing if it's still there. So so with that, I was removing. When it goes through, so I see the body and I see the heart and I put it and I look, I see the blood system, I see the whole, I see everything. And then like a black dust falls onto the floor. And even you can hear metal falling.
Mm.
And then I have the violet flame come to remove low energy, and the black angelic flame to remove toxins. And after one or two of those, Commander Ashtar came on one of the clients, and he was like, I want you to start using this. And I was like, okay. And he just gave it to me in my hand. And it looks like a blue goo, so a living light. It's light with texture. And I start from the top of the head and go all the way down to the feet. And basically it's like this, I call it blue plasma light protection. And it's like to keep nanotech from entering. So,
It's a
so
shield from the energetic implants, so to speak, or
yeah,
imprints.
either the actual tech
Mm.
or the energetic tech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because someone who didn't have any shot double thing, they had a nanotech in their body. How did that happen? Right? There's so much going on, there's so much going on the outside that we aren't aware of, but so with that, I started, just when people were experiencing, the COVID or the whatever strand, I started doing healing for them, because I was like, a lot of people want to bounce back faster, right? So because of the nature of this thing, I said, let me just provide healing for them. So a couple of experiences, one person actually had reptilian attachment. And while I was doing the healing, they were dreaming. And the reptilian was telling them, oh, you don't have COVID.
Okay.
So I there's so many aspects to what's going on.
You saw an
Yeah.
attachment to me too.
And that's true. There was like a black goo. And the best way to explain it is, if anyone watches like sci-fi movies, or even there's like a Spider-Man movie, like I think it's called Venom, where there's like this black goo.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looked like that. And the thing is, the goo was like basically over the healing center, like it didn't want me to get to you. And that's how they operate. They don't want me, like with the client that had the reptilian attachment, they didn't want me to get to the healing place. So it's like they come into the quantum with me and they try to block me to get in.
Mm.
So I have to call Metatron, the unicorns, all the dragons, all the angels, all, I call every one of the light to shine, to come in, Archangel Michael to create a portal, of light, and to send all of these things to the light and to clear. Then I have to call in a protection to keep everything out,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like,
I'm pretty
um,
I'm pretty
yeah.
curious about one thing, because
Mhm.
when you're talking about these energetic imprints that we are obviously um, getting by being in touch with other people, like emotions
Right.
that is affecting each other. Have you sensed it on the animals that you've been working with? I mean, a lot of us
My gosh.
have animals, and they are living with the same diseases as we are. Oh yes, you did. Oh, let's hear.
Well, it's not that. It's just that the animals that where I live, it's a big dog community, and half of the people here are asleep, right? Or maybe more, right? So anytime I'm outside, these animals run to me. The owners are like, sorry, sorry, they're like, I don't know why, I don't know. And I'm like, it's okay. And I pet them, I bless them, and they want to stay right next to me.
Yeah,
But they can't. Um,
you're picking up the healing energy from you.
yes, yes. So the animals are awakening,
Mm,
and they need it. They need the connection from a awakened person. Unfortunately, there's not there's still some people who are sleeping,
mm,
but they do. So anytime you're out there or just in nature or in any of your meditations, just ask that light be sent, love and light be sent to the animals, you know,
mm,
all around.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, they are energetic
Yeah.
beings too, so
Yeah.
of course they have the same journey as we do. Uh,
Yes.
so at least I believe that too. So yeah.
Yeah. It's true. Especially our pets, they they have the connection with the human being more than, animals, the wild animals.
Mm,
But the pets on that level, I believe they are ascending, they are going to transcend. I don't know if they're going to go to human or just skip, because of this whole ascension. But they're very conscious. They're very conscious.
I actually heard that too, that there is an evolutionary scale even for those animals now, that some of them will go on to into the human collective. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that's probably a reason, since we have been living so close to each other for so many, many years now,
Mm-hmm.
like throughout the whole human evolution. So, wow. Well, that is pretty amazing journey that you have been on so far.
Yeah.
So, if we should move
Okay.
forward a bit
Okay.
to this connection that you sense with other um, mother energies. Can you
Mm-hmm.
explain those mother energies a bit, so everybody is getting what we are talking about.
Okay. Okay. It's really okay.
Mhm.
Well, I told you I did some quick drawings. So this will help. Um all right. So when I when I connect in healing, before I even start the healing, I call on all the energies, you know, and I call for the protection, etc. And it is just something that's like it's like a internal knowing, right? But it's when I get to meeting the inner child. So when I go down into my healing place, um, it's like a dark place, but then it's lit up. So like one of the places that I go to, where's the camera? One of the places that I go to is for to meet the inner child. It's like there's like this room. It's like it looks like it's like when you go into a museum and there's like a display for like animals, right? Uh, of the past, like a historic, you
Yeah.
know, and it's like there's a glass there and you can't, but I can, it's almost like there's a display. It's like a display place. And I go, I go there and it's usually a forest with trees. And so when I go to meet the child, the inner child of the person there, um, I might show up as a different looking person. Like I'm not myself. I am, you know, Mary, um, or a different type of angel or something. Like I look different and I hold, you know, the inner child. Um, and whatever words I say to them, I don't know where it comes from. It just, it comes, it flows. And the inner child tells me, you know, what's going on, you know. Depends if the inner child is happy, sad, you know,
Hmm.
um, muted. Sometimes they don't want to talk, and then I have to coax it out of them. It just naturally happens. I don't have control over what energy it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just kind of happens. And it's reminding me of the session that I had with you. Your inner child was frightened. And I was like, you know, what's going on? What's happening? And she points and I see like a door and a dark figure. And she says, I don't like that guy. And he's here and I want him gone. And I was like, okay. And so I had to remove this dark energy from the place, you know, with the Archangel Michael and Zedkiel and, you know, Metatron. And it was very interesting because when I relayed the message to you, you know, you said you when you were young, you've seen a lot of different things. Like, you know, like me, I've seen a lot of different things too, and I don't remember everything
Yeah.
that I saw.
But
So,
I do have a remembrance since I was a child or a youngster. I had never
mhm.
been afraid for humans, but I have always been afraid of the boogeyman. You know, the vampires and
Yes,
dark entities. So
yes,
always had two imaginable, creative, created dogs or more wolf-like dogs walking with me when I was outside. And they weren't there to protect me from other human beings. They were there to protect me from the dark energies that that was lurking in the dark and wanted to get to me. So I'm not surprised
Wow.
because I probably had something happening during one of those interactions I had with the energies when I grew up. So probably
Wow.
there. That
Yeah.
that was pretty fun actually, now that you brought it up. So I thought I passed through that, but obviously I didn't. So thank you for helping me with that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen in there, you know? And as what I've realized is as we are going through our own healing,
Mm,
we're losing layers of like for forgetful, the veil. We're losing layers of the veil. So the past life uh issues or things in our past that we forgot or we don't know about, they're coming forward with each layer that we lose. They come forward for healing.
mm,
um how I see and believe this whole experience is we are here, like we're standing here, but we have we are still existing in the past, and we we have a future. So um all of the past, even our past lives, those things are still playing out that we haven't, dealt with or healed. They still play a part in our present moment. um it's like
you're being pushed forward right now.
yeah, we're being pushed forward. um but what am I trying to say is, in order for us to heal those things that we don't even know about, we're having things happen to us in the present that associated with the
The
past.
past. Yeah.
Yes, and even past life. um Whether we want to believe it or not, we when I believe when when we're in the astral at night, or whenever we're sleeping, we're in the astral, we're meeting all of these people that we're dealing with now, and we're saying, okay, we have to make this situation happen so that the healing can occur.
Mm,
And we come back and we live our daily life, and we have that bad interaction with that person, or we have that great interaction with that person, whatever it is that we agreed that we would do to make this thing happen.
yeah.
Nothing is coincidence. everything everything was planned out. you know
That's pretty
yeah.
amazing thought actually, and I do believe that everything actually is orchestrated more or
Yes.
less, and just that we are walking up on Earth in this time, and that's quite interesting because we wouldn't be here unless we had something that needed to be processed in this moment right now. So
Yes.
we can be how spiritual or evolved as we think we are, but the main reason for being here is that we truly need to move through something that is still there, holding us. And even though you are here to assist us, you are still going through some of your own stuff too.
Yes.
So that's
And I did. I,
yeah.
I brought in the new year so rough.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. You had your fun there.
I had the experience of, being with the sickness or whatever, but
Mm,
I had an interaction actually with a high school friend who I reconnected with. And I never been so hurt by another human being in my life, but she came back into my life for a karmic reason.
Yeah.
She needed to take revenge, you know? So she had it. The karma was paid, the debt was paid, and I had to do healing through that. And it helps to have knowledge of past life. And if you have friends or anyone that can help you uh, do past life work, because then you can understand why things happen. Like this was from, for some reason, my Egyptian time is coming forward, this past couple of months. A lot of my Egyptian past to
Can you talk
clear.
about that? Because Egyptian time has also something to do with everything that we have been talking
Going
about right now. So
right now.
yeah. So can you dive into that?
Okay.
Dive in a bit.
So I I don't want to say too much because sub I don't want I don't know if they're gonna be listening, but um okay, so in my time in Egypt, I was an oracle,
Hmm.
and very strong oracle, uh with the knowledge, the healing, the information, and the connections. But I wasn't getting what was due. A
Hmm.
lot of oracles were mistreated. And it's interesting, not just my experience, but all light workers who were healers or oracles, they were all mistreated, all of them. They were used for their powers, and then uh, if anything bad happened, they were called witches, and they were thrown to the wolves, right?
Hmm.
Thrown into the fire. um, and they were never given what they were due. And in this lifetime, in this now time, as we're all here for abundance, the experience of abundance, of love, light, and all things creator, abundance, this abundance. Um, we, all of us who were light workers, healers, and oracles and such, in our past lifetime, were cheated. So now, as we come into this experience now to receive abundance, a lot of us are experiencing um, like fear of persecution, right? And fear of being known and seen for our powers and what we can do. And that was something even I was kind of like, I don't want to tell people I do all this stuff because,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's like I have to, because I am here to help.
Yeah.
So a lot of us are going through that because of that lifetime, and it's replaying, and for us to move forward into abundance. But yeah, I'll just leave it there. It was during the time of the richest time of of Egypt, and I don't want to bring. I'll I will tell you it quietly. But yes, so um, that time was major. Like the female that I had the issue with into this new year, it was from that time. you know
Hmm.
um what happens is I did a healing for her, right? And she received all of her power. She received her healing ability, her mediumship, and in her businesses, she started to receive uh, the clients and the business deals. Everything was going great for her, and all I wanted was to be in her magazine so that I could reach more people. And she just threw me under the bus. She didn't want me to have any clients,
Yeah.
and it was a lesson for me. She apparently she had gotten killed by accident in the past in that experience, and she blamed it on me. So she came back for that revenge, and I'm okay now after understanding everything. So sometimes people are in relationships and uh, really bad relationships, and they don't know why. Like, why am I, experiencing all this horrible or this bad? Why am I attracting all this, bad? There's a reason. You have to heal something.
Yeah.
Something needs to be found and healed. Um, so I had to really heal myself and understand my power, come into my power, and realize I don't need anyone to make myself be known. It's not that, I don't need to be used by anyone like I was in Egypt. I
Yeah.
am fully in my powers, and all my beliefs and, doing my thing. So, yes, you know,
That was an experience.
yeah, it was really, really like I've never had such words be told to me about myself. It just didn't make any sense. But anyway,
Well,
yeah, it
I'm
was
glad you can laugh at it now.
yes.
So
Thank God.
you are you are in a process of healing it and letting it go because you don't want
Yes.
to end up in a new loop doing the same
Yeah.
repetitive
Yes.
patterns because that is what we are doing here, right? So
Yeah.
many of us has been coexisting through the Egyptian time, and
Hmm.
we doesn't necessarily have to be here every century, but we have been here through some of the, yeah, well, I can't speak for everybody. Everybody has their own belief system, but everything is not repeating itself for 2000 years. You are experiencing something there, and it shall pass a couple of hundred years, maybe, and then you are in a new incarnation, and you're
Hmm.
still repeating the same pattern. And that is why we are still here. We were talking about karma earlier, because as long as we doesn't go through this process of understanding, reflecting, healing, and letting go, we will be in this destructive pattern of unknowledge, or
Yeah.
how should I say that? So, yeah, I do believe also that the Egyptian time is is so connected to our ascension time right now.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's a
It
almost
is.
like the Mayan calendar, and the Egyptian process with the pyramids and everything, the secrets. It's a
Yes.
countdown to our ascension process.
Yes.
So yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Everything that hasn't been worked through is now pushed up to this surface, and we
Yes.
have to go through it. It's not
And
fun, Rashma, but it's
it's not,
sometimes it's healthy, very healthy.
yes. I mean, a lot of people are going through the motions and they don't even know this is what's happening.
Hmm.
People who don't really understand the ascension awakening process. Um, they're losing friendships, they're leaving jobs, they're leaving uh husband or wife, or they're letting go. Things are happening
Mm-hmm.
that's causing a lot of problems, and they have to make the changes, and they have no idea, but it's bringing them into their awakening every day. Every day they're finding little bits of pieces of who they really are. And I think that's why I'd like to work with people at that stage of just waking, or just learning about everything, because it, like, my healings, it it really accelerates the process.
Mm-hmm.
um and anybody who is a healer, an oracle, and a light worker that's here for, 5D new earth work, the healing brings their gifts forward faster.
Mm.
Yeah.
It sure does. So,
Yeah.
how do you see that the next couple of months is taking you in your work? Because
Mm,
you have been spinning up your energy pretty fast for the couple of last month,
yes.
as it has been, and it doesn't feel like you are slowing down by any bit. It feels like you are still moving. So I guess you have a idea of where you are going. Is there something that you are ready to talk about?
Well, there's still so okay. So I feel as though I slowed down because I had to do a lot of reflection,
Mm,
right? And then I had to fix a lot of stuff with my website. Me and technology is always like, so I I really want to I really want to just expand more, um with these types of sessions, like talking with you, talking with someone else, like, um I find that so I find it healing. I find it refreshing to
mm,
talk about these things, and to get things, new information, and you know flowing. um I just want to work more. I want to be working with more people. I want to help people accelerate so badly.
yeah.
But I know, and I realize I can't push anyone. I can't say, well, you really need this, you know? It's they have to be guided towards me. They have to feel like I want to talk to her,
Mm.
you know? They have to feel it. And if they don't feel it, there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
And sometimes it might be that you are not for everybody. Everybody. It's
that's true too.
yeah. It seems a bit harsh to say that, but
Yeah.
some people are working in extraordinary ways, and yeah, they're still extraordinary, and not a lot of people hear about them. But
Mhm.
I can't see that that is in your future, dear, because I do know that you are here for a reason, and I do know that you are moving forward, and you are have not reached your capacity. Capacity.
Fascinating.
That's the word.
My
Yeah, fully yet. So yeah, you definitely are going to expand in some more ways. Mm.
well, I wanted to bring up the Lemurian aspect.
Please do.
So here's the thing. I have come to realize what's what's been happening with me and the whole Lemurian aspect. So as Pleiadian mother, I interfaced with Lemuria interdimensionally. I never lived in Lemuria as a Lemurian. I never incarnated as a Lemurian and had one lifetime as a Lemurian, as many people on this planet have lived one lifetime as a Lemurian
Mm.
in Lemuria. I was just the teacher, the mother,
Yeah.
the helper, the healer. You know, I was that for them. And I I am trying to figure out what I am to do with that now, as we are uh, Lemurian consciousness rising right into the grid,
Yeah.
the the grid around the planet.
Yeah. But that
Yeah,
is what I meant earlier. You know, we are so, um, how should I say this? But there, I I do love Lemuria, and I'm one of those who has actually been living as a Lemurian incarnated soul here, and that time, even though the energy is still rising, it's the mother energy. So we are
yes,
not going back to the Lemurian energy that was then, because then was then, and we are here right now. And
yes,
moving back is not an option in an evolutionary state of mind. We are
right.
to move forward. So this Lemurian energy, the mother energy, she is rising, but she is connecting the dots from the planet Earth as a mother entity and a mother pool. And there are not all planets that are this mother energy. There are other planets that have other energies, but our Earth is a mother energy. And
Yes,
she is connecting herself energetically with the Pleiadian star mothers and other collectives out there who is also connected to the mother energy. And
yes,
the mother energy is not working solitarily by herself. She's working with the masculine energy, of course, but
yes,
we are moving in a specific time of energy right now. So for me to listen to you, I can see those mother energies getting connected together in in another reality, because this is the connection that needs to be reunited with each other in the way to proceed forward. Does it make any
yes.
sense?
Yes, it does. And it took me a while to realize why me doing my grounding was so important. But when I ground, and I've gone from one phase of grounding to now I ground into the cave, the womb of Mother Earth. Um, when I ground those mothers, those mother energies into the planet,
Mm,
you know, and when I ground, I call in all these energies and I push it from the womb out and energize, you know, out energy out through the trees, you know, into the air and surround the whole planet with the energies.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that is the
And
mother energy. She's connected to everything that is a living organism, and
yes,
whether it's physical or energetically, she is
right.
connected through that source of light and flow of energy. So
Yeah.
you are a lighthouse. And I usually get this picture, when people are talking and you said something about you're still trying to work through where your resources are to land upon. And I saw this lighthouse, and the light, swirling around. And I think you have captured the image of, the beacon of light, because you are here holding the energies. And of course, you are supposed to work with those lessons that you are learning too, and be in this position to do these healing energies and healing sessions for people, that you actually doesn't have to be physical to do, because you are tapping into the energy of that human being that you're working with, or
Yes.
animals, for that
Yeah.
say. We have to include the beautiful animals. So they give us so much back, so everything we can give back to them is a blessing. So
Yeah.
yeah, so uh, what what should I where was I going with this?
You were going with the lighthouse and the beacon, and I'm just like in awe because I'm like, that's what my website is.
Yeah.
Like lighthouse, and then I wrote a beacon of light you have found, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
what? I'm being blown away by
You
you.
are a way shower in so many ways, and I think it's important for people to know that they actually doesn't have to be in the states where you are. They can reach
Mhm.
out to you, and they can do it by getting in your Facebook. You're not so much on Facebook anymore. You're more on Instagram, right?
I know, and guess what? I'm going to have to do a Facebook page because my website really works with Facebook, so I have to, and I'm going to do it again, and hopefully I can do it right, and people actually, can find it and join,
Hmm.
and we could do more talks like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, when we are done, you can put your web page link in the comment field. Can you do that
Okay.
for us? So
Okay.
people know where they can reach out to you. I think it's very important to get out that information. And they can also look up Lighthouse 333 on
Yeah.
Instagram. So
Yes.
you are just a messenger call away, so to speak.
Yes.
That is good to know. That is so good to know. Do you have anything else you feel like we have missed that
Hmm.
we should bring up to surface?
Oh goodness. Well, this month
Mm,
is has been such a massive month for like the second month of the year.
yeah.
With the energies. I don't know if everyone else is experiencing it, that the ringing in the airs have gone like through the roof to a different level. The pressure, uh, the pressure on the top of the head, and last night I was actually receiving third eye pressure.
Mm,
Um, just uh, we're receiving so much to help us to get that the light, into our DNA, to have that change. It As much as it's very annoying, because we don't like the feeling, uh it's still such a joy to know that this is happening.
mm,
And it's kind of like unreal, like when you really think as your human self, you know this experience that I'm feeling in my body, like my body's going to change. You've been in this body for so long to grasp that the body is going to change, you know
mm. It's
it's exciting, huh?
constantly changing. The body is
Yes.
constantly changing. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just been a different feeling this year, 2022. um but I have massive hope you know, I feel so hopeful, and uh, I feel that as much as it's kind of shaky outside,
Hmm.
still with love and light, just still and ready to receive and to give.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, you are such a lighthouse full of love and light shining its way through the world. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a pretty amazing half year that is coming up here for
yeah,
everybody.
yeah. The solstice coming up.
Yeah, what are you going to do something with the solistic time there?
I haven't thought about it, but I mean, I would love to do something. I just, when there's so many people doing something, like so
Yeah.
many different groups doing things, it's kind of like, hmm, you know,
Well,
have
that
to
shouldn't
see.
be a obstacle because, but I totally get what you mean. Sometimes
Yeah,
you have this idea and then you see 10 other people that also have the same idea and you're like,
yeah.
ah, let them
Could
have
just join them.
it. Enjoy yourself. I'm just going to
Yeah,
go over here. But no, I think you definitely should do something because you know how it is. We are our energetically prints that we have
yeah,
is drawing different people into our lives, and I think that it's important for us to be out there somehow. Just,
yeah,
it doesn't matter how many people you are interacting with, but you are presenting your energy there, and those people who are on the same frequency, in that band of frequency, they will find a
yeah,
way. So yeah, keep shining your
yeah.
light and do something. I'm gonna hold you responsible for doing something.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'll get to working on it for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I will.
So yeah.
Wow.
And we are going to close down because we have passed the hour, and
Okay,
so
yes.
much to digest while you are listening to this because it has been so informative. You are a living lexicon. I don't know the English word, but dictionary. So you have
Okay.
so much information there. People have something to listen to if they are putting going back to the beginning of this interview. So thank you so much for being here, Reshma, and
Thank you for having me, Eva. Thank you.
please put your web page and your Instagram account on the comment field,
Yes.
so people do know how to reach you if they want to be able to work with you and receiving those offerings of healing that your gifts of healing that you actually have. So
Yeah.
very blissful. And
Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you. And for those who are listening here, thank you for being here with us.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
we will surely be back here and see what Reshma is doing in a couple of months. So we will be back.
Yes.
Everybody, and take care. Bye bye.
Love you.
Love you. Bye
Bye.
bye. So